Welcome back, everybody, to Take One to Give 'Em podcast. On today's episode, I have a very special guest, Pierre Oliver Leclerc, also known as P.O. I am in a small room where we usually do privates and film instructionals, so I do apologize for the slight echo and the noisiness in the background as there is a seminar going on, but it's going to be a really good episode. Take a listen, enjoy, and let's get into the episode. All right, I'm here with P.O. First of all, thank you for taking the time.
Thanks for having me, man.
I want to start off. So you are now a black belt under Faraz, right? Faraz Zahabi, and you're TriStar in Montreal. Is that where you're?
That's my home gym. Yeah.
Home gym. Now, we do see, obviously, you see you at B Team, you see you all over. Is the connection there? Is that Ethan, the main connection?
No, so actually, well, yes and no. So I would say Nicky Ryan and Ethan. So if I go back a few years from the beginning, so like Faraz Zahabi, my coach, is a black belt under John. So we had the connection with John already, and I started traveling to New York and New Jersey when I was, I'd say blue belt. I think that's when I met them. So they came at the gym first, but I became actually friend with Nicky Ryan pretty early on. He was like 13. I've known him since he's 13. Now he's a grown adult, you know.
Back when he was Thicky Ryan, he was a little big boy.
Yeah, exactly. So I got to know him right after the Thicky Ryan part, where he was like more a fat kid, you know.
Yeah, he was doing a lot of damage as a young kid.
Oh yeah,
he was very proficient in what he was doing.
Yeah, so got to meet Nicky, and obviously I was already training with Ethan and Oliver Taza, but so I trained in New York for years. Then when they went to Puerto Rico, I went there for a little bit, just a month, a bit more than a month. And when the team split happened, basically my friendship with Ethan and Nicky was for me very important. So I followed them. So that's a connection. Yeah.
And as we know, the team over at B Team has grown. You were a TriStar, but everything kind of trickles down from the same.
From John, definitely, definitely a big influence from for us is obviously John.
And for us himself, a lot of people don't give him the credit I feel that is due. For us, is a genius, not only Jiu Jitsu, but MMA.
Yeah.
You know, his mind, his way to break down things, very underrated in my opinion as a coach.
Yeah.
Very smart, very humble, very nice guy.
Yeah, and to add to that, the biggest thing, and I tell people that don't know Faraz, is like, not only he's a generous guy, but on top of it, like he's a great coach, but on top of all of that, he's the most open-minded person about technique and about jiu-jitsu that you'll find. And he's willing to try anything. He will never dismiss a technique, and he's always willing to try it and to make the group try it and figure out like what's good and what's not.
Going to work.
And that I find myself so lucky, because you hear a lot of stories about like coaches, right, that are kind of pushing techniques or like pushing like one vision but not allowing other visions.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, certain technique maybe you might like less, but the reality is like if it works at a high level, it's probably legit, you know.
So he allows you guys to do like kind of
everything,
give and take, and if something's working, like why not?
Absolutely. We spent at some point a lot of time troubleshooting the buggy choke.
Oh yeah.
For the simple reason that it worked at a high level, and we were curious about like defending, but to learn how it works, you got to attack it too. So. And we did it a little bit, and I do it for fun from time to time, you know, but I don't have the best body type for it.
Yeah, I agree. I'm the same.
But still, like, I find now I understand it way more. So as a defensive, like, let's say, measure, I can figure it out, like how to get out of it more, because I understand
the mechanics of it.
Because we spend some time just working on it, and that's what should be the spirit of jiu-jitsu, in my opinion. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I agree, and that's great. It's huge for him to allow you guys to be that kind of open-minded and you know, bring your ideas to the table, not just the coach's agenda of what's going to happen. That's huge. And like moving forward, you recently had, obviously you won Pans back in October
Yeah.
And then the Dallas ADCC Open. How was that experience? And talk a little bit about how long the experience was, but also the feeling of getting that victory.
Yeah. So if I can compare it to Pans, so Pans I won it as a purple and a brown belt. So 2 good wins. The one at brown belt was like a kind of a perfect run in a tournament where I had like 4 matches, 4 finishes, everything that they worked like perfectly. So it's like great feeling, right? I would say DCC Dallas was the total opposite, where I had like 6 crazy matches. I had 2 quick submissions, but the rest was just like tough, and I felt like everything was not perfect in that sense. Where, how can I say this? I didn't have the prettiest jiu-jitsu that day. Like I think I'm capable of more, but I was able to like do like a hard, like gritty performance, you know, like even through hardship, even like so the first match I went against a teammate, unfortunately from B team, a really tough kid, and he gave me like the toughest match of the day. Popped my rib in a little bit. It wasn't too bad, but still, like I had like a little rib injury during that match, and then I had to go through 5 other matches. So the mindset at the beginning, I was like, kind of, how am I going to do this, right? And every match, it got better, and my mindset started building up, and then I get more confident during tournaments, usually. So the more matches I get, the more I'm like, I just become like, fuck it, I'm going to do it, you know, I'm going to get after it, yeah. So performance-wise, not the best, but mental side of things, I was really proud after, because I was like, there was a lot of obstacles, and I just went like, fuck it, I'm going to do it. And that feeling is very rewarding, especially when you give pretty much everything you have and you get a win out of it. That was like, that was a good feeling, yeah.
So persevering through all that, like, it's kind of like, I don't know if you'd say more rewarding, but it was very rewarding to feel like I still made it through all that adversity.
Almost more rewarding, because it's like, it confirms too that you have that competitive mindset, right? And this is hard because, like obviously I'm around a lot of up and comers, a lot of kids that they compete, and sometimes they like it's not working out for them. And like myself too, I have a lot of losses. It's not always working out, but it's really, you realize how competing is mostly a mental thing. Like if you have the skill set in the gym, it's like how to transfer that to competition, and everybody's different, and finding like how you can work under like the doubt, under like the pressure under. So that day was like a day of me just figuring it out. So personally, it was very rewarding after. I felt like that was good for the other tournaments coming up, because I was like, I know I have
it gives you
this.
That little bit extra.
Yeah, I know that
confidence.
like, yeah, exactly. If I get into a fight that's really, really tough, I'll figure it out. Like, and look, if I gave everything and I lost, it's fine. You know, like I would feel still like, you prefer winning, but I would feel fulfilled in the sense where I gave everything.
You gave everything you had.
Yeah, I had performances in like where I won, but I didn't feel like I was there mentally, and I didn't feel good after. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I had like losses where I gave everything, and I was just like, that wasn't my day, but I felt good about it.
Yeah, it is tricky.
It is.
Just for me, I don't compete obviously as much. I'm more focused on teaching, but when I see even my students, like they go out and they kind of, you see a little bit of doubt when they get in a bad position. It's one of those things where I tell them, like, if you can get out, obviously. But if you're trying to get out and you fail, and you're going and you're trying and giving
Keep
everything,
trying,
you're exhausted, at least you can say you tried. Because if you think in your head you quit, then it's a whole nother problem.
Oh, it's a bad feeling. Yeah. And look, I remember at Blue Belt, I had performances where I was anxious, I didn't like do well, and then during the match I was kind of quit a little bit, and it's hard to admit to yourself, you know, that you quitted, but it's the worst.
Yeah.
So you got to learn from that, and now, like you said, it's just give everything and don't quit, you know, like, and at least whatever happens, you'll feel at least better about like, okay, I just got to improve. That's what it means. So
it won't haunt you as much as thinking, I could have done this, right? I should have done, you know.
Yeah, those are tough thoughts to
because
live with.
it'll stick with you, especially if it's a big, you know, something big for you, you know. And then you had the this last Open that was all Canadians, I believe.
Yeah. So it was in Oshawa, which is a town just outside of Toronto.
Okay.
So it's like a 5-hour drive for me from Montreal, and it was a Grand Prix, they call it. It was like a pro bracket with 6 guys from Canada.
Yeah. And I saw the bracket, and immediately, and I know some people don't follow jiu-jitsu as much, but seeing you beat Kieran, in my eyes, it's like, obviously we've already seen you beat many high-level opponents, but people don't know Kieran as much. He's a vicious leg lock, like very attack,
very dangerous,
very dangerous. And the way that match went, I was, in my head, I'm like, holy shit, like this is crazy. Seeing the bracket as it was going, the exchange you had where you were rolling through and you ended up getting out because he had you.
The knee bar. He
had you in the knee bar.
That's TJ Laramie. He's an MMA guy. He was in the UFC. He's tough, man.
Yeah. When I seen all those and then I see you get that belt, obviously you won the Open, but people may not, people I think underestimate because it's not a big name event.
Yeah.
Those are big names to me. Yeah, that's a big accomplishment. And then going forward, obviously, I would assume the goal is trials.
Yeah.
And try to make it to the world championship, right? In preparation for ADCC Worlds, what are some of the things that you're looking to do, either competition wise or maybe training wise?
Okay, so. Good example. So first, like you were talking about ADCC Dallas, I did the ADCC Ottawa too. I lost to my really, really good friend, like close friend, but that won the whole thing. So I was kind of happy, like in that sense. Mike, like we trained together, and people don't know him. He's a fucking beast, but he's gonna do trials. So I'm excited to see how he does. But so the last few months have been just me getting ready for trials by doing opens. The reason why they decided to do opens was, to make like ADCC bigger, but on top, it's like the best practice.
Oh yeah, you get to do the rule sets as you
exactly. Otherwise, before it was 2 times, 1 time a year, basically, and because you get a trial every 14 months or something.
I think so. And obviously, Worlds is not 2 years, and that's only if you make it.
Yeah. To that point. So we didn't have like any way to practice it more, and in the gym it's good, but it's not the same as competing.
Yeah.
So doing the opens has been the big thing. I got Dallas. So basically this year alone I had 11, I think I had like 14 match in ADCC roll set, which is like a good amount before trials, and I'm not done yet. So you were speaking about the Oshawa Grand Prix that I just did at 170 pound, like beating Kieran in the final, and like that whole event was ADCC rule set too. So that was 3 more matches of practice. And next I have ADCC Vancouver and Enigma, which is a 16-man bracket. Yeah.
Enigma's another huge one that's
it's getting bigger. It's getting bigger. Yeah. And the guys are very professional with the way they do things. And they invited me for the 16-man bracket, 170 pound in September. So that's going to be a month before trials.
Okay.
And it's ADCC rule set.
Oh, really?
Perfect.
Awesome.
Preparation.
Flowing right in there.
And look, it's been going well, but I know for a fact, I'm like, if something is to happen during those matches, I'd rather them, like those issue happening before trials, and then I feel confident I fixed it for trials.
Yeah.
So my training's around ADCC, and my competing is around ADCC. And another guy that does that, you can see, is Oliver Taza. He's been competing nonstop. He won yesterday. Yeah, exactly. The 76 kilo. He went down because he's doing the European trials very soon.
Oh, yeah.
And it's September.
I think it is. Yeah, I think it's next month.
Yeah, it is. It is. So yeah, it's just like he's a smart kid too, and you can tell because he's preparing for that. Like he puts all the chances on his side, and I think competing is tiring, but getting ready is more important. So
and another thing people aren't realizing, the ADCC Open is essentially another open that people can do.
Yep.
But if you see the list of names
that
are in these opens, like they're all world championship matches. Like once you get to the semifinals, it's like
even the first few matches, you get guys that are unknown. Like Charles is going to be like that too.
Yeah.
Like one thing that I learned over time is never dismiss anyone. everybody has a shot, and you get guys like, look, when you travel, you go from gym to gym. There's always one or two tough guys in a gym, right? And they'll give you a run, like they'll give you good rounds. Competitions are the same, especially ADCC, because it's not belt level; it's all level. So you can't really expect what kind of guy you're gonna get. You could get a guy that's a purple belt, but he's wrestled like so much, and then ADCC rule set is good for him. Or you get some unknown guys, like the guy I told you, Mike.
Yeah.
This guy's a like national judo champion. People don't know that, so they go and he's not really wrestling because he knows the leg locks, he knows everything. He's a real jiu-jitsu player, but then you stand up with him and he'll throw you. So you never know who you're gonna follow to. You know, so every single matches that I've done in the Open, I've treated it as the hardest match it's going to be. So this way, I'm not surprised when something happened. I'm like, I knew it would be tough. You know?
It's a great approach. I mean, like you said, you guys doing the Opens in preparation to just be ready. That's got to be huge. Like you said before, you have maybe once, twice a year if you can do multiple trials, but now having that opportunity, like if you can travel, you might be able to get one every month if you really want to. You know, that's amazing. And you know, again, congratulations on that, Dallas.
Thank you,
because that's huge.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Again, I'm lucky to have Betty and the RollForever crew be a part of Diego and myself. So I get advantages to be able to meet you guys. But being here this weekend at the retreat, can you talk maybe a little about, how you liked it? And obviously yesterday when we went to go surf, maybe just talk a little bit about that.
So the retreat, it's been really, really fun, intense in terms of like how much jiu-jitsu we've been doing in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
But, being able to like travel, Betty putting that with RollForever for us to not only teach, but like be able to like meet people and like I've known Diego, I've seen him at competition for a while, but I was never able to come and teach. And so it's like fun to see the gym where you guys operate, and be around. So, and for me, teaching is like seminars, like I've done it a lot and I still do it and I love it because it's like you meet people, you get to exchange different knowledge, different ideas. People want you to be there, so they're very friendly. And it's like, for me, jiu-jitsu is that whole, like I'm competing, but on top it's like, I'm teaching a lot, so, because I gotta make a living, right? And I love teaching and I love meeting people, and the connection you get from doing seminars is the best.
Yeah, because it's like having that community of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, and then, like you said, like yesterday we all went to the beach because, so Friday we got delayed pretty bad, me and Brianna with the flights. So we ended up coming in super late and couldn't. And it was a rainy day too.
I think the other side of Norfolk actually had a flood warning. So it rained.
It was crazy.
Anyway.
Yeah,
it was a whole bad beginning of Friday.
Me and Brianna were just like, we had such a bad luck streak that we kept coming and we were like, what's next, And then finally we made it. But like yesterday, after the day of teaching and seminars, we were able to go to the beach. I surfed for the first time and I just got hooked right away.
It was fun. It was fun.
Yeah, I managed to catch like, I think 5 or 6 waves standing up. And that was a big moment for me. It was so fun.
Yesterday, for those of you who haven't surfed ever, it's not easy.
No,
it's very hard. Very difficult. But I'm not exaggerating when I say P.O. looked semi-pro at the end of this. He went straight purple belt right after he started. And being out there and seeing you, Luke, Rihanna, Diego, and everybody out there on the boat, it was just cool. It was cool because it was a beautiful day.
I think that was my highlight. Like because I've always really loved water. Like it's just like back home we have lakes and stuff like that, but like the sea and the ocean is really far off the coast. So I don't get to see it often. And when I travel, I like the outdoor, and so I've traveled in Europe a lot and got to like go in the sea in Italy and like everywhere, and super lucky. So like when I got yesterday to the ocean, you just see the ocean like, it's wide and open. And then there's the waves. I was like, this is cool.
You're just floating right there.
And then you're on the board.
Yeah.
And I've always wanted to surf, never had the chance to. And for me, it was like so relaxing. It's very physical, by the way. I was wearing the whoop yesterday, and it was so funny because it detected that it was surf that I was doing after.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it said that shout out whoop.
That was crazy.
So cool. Yeah, it said like 2 hours something, and it was 1,000 calories.
Wow.
900 something.
I mean, people don't realize even balancing on the board is
that was the hardest part.
A lot of effort. You know,
just sitting on the board.
You have to like figure out where you're going to be. You know, you're getting chewed up on.
Oh yeah, my rib cage.
I told you. I wore the rash guard. I have to. But yeah, it was awesome because watching you catch the waves, like I said, it's super impressive. But overall, it was just a great time being out there.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, and like the guys like Luke and shout out to Greg. Like he brought like the 4 boards for us, and he took time like to explain to us a little bit. And he was with me in the water, and like he would like tell me when a good wave was coming. So I was like, okay, I gotta go. And him and Luke gave me a lot of tips on how to like proper alignment to paddle and glide, you know, and then how to when to catch the wave. And after a few, I realized like when you actually get transported by the wave, and then missed a few get-ups, obviously, like everyone.
Yeah.
But I think I skateboarded a lot when I was a kid, so I think that helped a little bit for the balance. Once I was up,
once you popped up on.
Yes, exactly. I felt like I'm confident, you know. But yeah, I'm gonna do that again.
Yeah,
I texted my girlfriend yesterday. And I was like, I figure out my retirement plan. I just want to open up a gym by the beach and surf, you know,
all the time. Yeah, the once you're getting like kind of propelled forward, the hopping up part for me was not the hard part. The hard part for me was knowing when I was going to actually go forward, you know, paddling hand over hand. I'm like, is this going to take me? Is this one going to take me? Yeah. But yeah, like you said, once you hop up and you catch the balance, now it's
not too
smooth.
bad.
Yeah, just smooth.
But definitely on my list of things to get better at because I enjoyed it so much. And yeah, I kind of understood because you hear about it. You like, especially it's like kind of connected to jiu-jitsu in a way.
Yeah, you see so many jiu-jitsu practitioners that actually
like
are
the
good at surfing, you know?
Yeah.
Out there doing crazy things on big waves.
Yeah. So
I don't know if I'm ready for all that.
You always hear about it, but I think until you experience it, you don't understand. Like it's I understand the lifestyle now more. Just like being in the water, how like calm and relaxing it is. And it's still physical, so only great things about it. Yeah.
And shout out Betty. Betty got out there and was
she did. She was on the board and she was just getting on the wave.
I'm like, man, I didn't think she was gonna get out there. She got out there on that.
She's not backing down in front of a challenge ever. Yeah.
I tell you what, go get her because at first when I was out there, I was like, man, these waves are smacking me. And that's how bad I'm like, well, I have to do it now. I can't be the chicken out of the group. So we went out.
It was cool, man.
It was just a fun time.
Yeah.
And like I said, I appreciate the seminar you put on today. A lot of great information.
Thank you.
I also wanted to talk quickly about LeclercJiu-Jitsu.com.
Yeah.
So obviously you come from Canada where you speak French, but now you have the English
content too. Yeah.
And it's not just you know leg locks. It's not just passing. It's a variety of everything.
It's everything. Yeah. So the way I describe it is like, or what I tell people. So yeah, there's the website when you go on it, it's going to be written probably in French, but there's an English section. Like I made it so people can see that there's like, you can click on the English section, and I've been running that website for 2 years now.
Yeah.
And in English, I've been running it for I think 8 months, something like that. And it's a website where I upload every single week.
Yeah.
I don't skip a week.
Yeah.
And I have like 3 technique videos per week minimum. And every time I do a seminar, not this time, but like, because this time I was like, just like packed light, but most of my seminars actually get uploaded on there.
Okay.
French and English. Like, so if you come to one of my seminars, usually I film the seminar and I give you access to it.
Oh, cool.
That's, I think it's crazy to me that athletes don't do that.
Yeah, no, I mean,
that's my personal thinking.
That is huge, and that's a benefit to the athletes. Like that's
it's a benefit for everybody because like right, it's tough to remember every single technique from the seminar, right? Super tough. So I've been doing a good job of like trying to just make sure the seminars are available for the people, and it brings me something too. It brings me content, it brings me traffic, and it's kind of a two-way street.
Yeah.
And I find people will come back more to my seminar when I do that.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. But so like the website has been running for a while, and I've got good feedback. People are coming in, and it's
Yeah, I think two of my guys just recently joined. I try to tell them, not only is there a lot of content, but it's very good, detailed content.
Thank you.
Like when you watch I actually had a lot of, I don't even know if you remember this, but I've messaged you months and months ago. I think it might have even been a year ago, where there was a couple of videos you put out that were in French, and I'm like, hey, I don't really understand what you're saying in this. 'Cause, like, sometimes when you're looking, you can kind of understand what's going on.
Yeah.
But even from that, not understanding what you're saying, I picked up so many details. So
Thank you.
now that it's in English, it's the level of knowledge that I can get from it is outstanding. So
I appreciate that.
thank you for that. Also, for everyone that's listening, if you join, it's like most likely it's going to be the most affordable, but it's also like probably some of the best technique you're going to learn. Pierre obviously has the experience, you have the knowledge, and you have great coaching, and it's I don't know, it's just been a pleasure having this time with you. Obviously,
Thank you. I
being
appreciate
here all
that.
weekend.
Yeah.
I thank you, and if you guys got any questions for me, send them to the social media, and I can forward them to PO if you guys have anything
absolutely.
for him. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, and
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate
appreciate
it. Thank you.
As always, thank you for giving or taking that one chance.